Hi, this is Abdulaziz Khan with my today's headline news. Should start with CNN, and as we can see that protests in U.S. streets are gone in the 8th night in a row. This is very critical now, I believe, because if it had happened in some other countries of the world, then we know that how the UN and these Western countries, how they should have responded for the people and the democracy and these kind of things. But now, because it's going on in the US, so no one really, no one is talking in that way. But still, they should think that this is not something right. I mean, the way the people are handling this and the use of force and these kind of things, this is not good for the people. And if the people they are protesting for a right thing, I mean, whatever happens in the hands of the police, then they should be allowed to protest, like they should be allowed in anywhere else in the whole world. So there should be one way. I mean, if there's a new world order or whatever world order, the world order should be same for anyone. But here we see that when it comes to US itself, then the president, he's very harsh in his word, but he's very showing very cowardness in his acts, which is also a kind of giving a double kind of a standard that okay, you can bring new executive orders, you can talk very harshly, but you cannot face the actual people. So we see that, like for example, if you see this news, some governors turned down the request of National Guards, and those National Guards were sent to Washington because Trump is scared of his life more than anything else. I mean, he went into the bunker and he's not, I mean, like, in some of the countries we have seen that even if something bad happens, their prime ministers or premiers, they are in the front line. I mean, they talk to the people, and here we see that it's going on from last more than a week, and still the president, he's only talking and tweeting and not able to show any real sign of a real president of this much big powerful country. But yes, personally, he is very powerful. We can see from this news. Trudeau was asked about Trump's handling of the protest, and he refused to criticize Trump, and he took a very long pause when it comes to Trump. So this is also one thing, that when it comes to Trump, like Zuckerberg is also struggling to explain that why he's not capable to do anything. So Trump has some special kind of powers that don't allow people to speak, but he does not have the real power so that he can go and he can face the real music which is going around in the whole US now. So the other news is that Joe Biden and Trump, they are in a war of words. So both are trying to save their next election results. Otherwise, I think both of them don't really care about whatever is going on in the US. So we come to some other news. Scientists say they have found the clearest air. It was found in near Antarctica, the only place where humans have not put their feet in a very normal kind of way. That is why the air is also fine and things are fine. So apart from that, you can see how they are handling. I mean, the Reverend was pushed out of the church. So because Trump was going to take some photos. So this is how you deal with the people, you deal with the things, then how can you bring some improvement? So airlines are trying for a new kind of seat, but they're using the middle seat as a separator. So it looks a kind of fine for a short flights, but for long flights, I don't think that it will be able to separate the two guys for quite long. And also the problem is, I believe the whole inside of a plane, it's quite homogeneous because the air is flowing and you have quite low temperature. So I believe that they should take some other measures to protect the persons physically. I mean, you should put gloves and masks. They are more necessary than this is also fine. I mean, there should not be any contact for a longer flight, but other SOPs are, I think, more important. So one news we see Zoom's revenue soars to 169%. So I mean, everything is not bad for everyone. I mean, this pandemic, it's bad for a lot of people, but it's good for maybe Zoom, because Zoom has taken a good traffic during this because everyone is working online. All online things have online meeting and online everything is now. Here we can see one news directly. If we can go, there was a news that a woman is fired on the Zoom. So Zoom is being used in all kind of situation now. I mean, you are being hired on Zoom, you are being fired on Zoom, you have a meeting on Zoom. So Zoom is now in. I think Zoom is has got the best out of this pandemic. I mean, people are afraid of this pandemic, and maybe they should be thinking that if either this pandemic goes much longer or people really change their style of doing everything, so that the online things they can go much further. So the locust problem is already there. Let's check BBC. BBC also has similar news of US, and Boris Johnson is offering some visa relaxation to Hong Kong guys. So Archbishop attacks Trump as protest continues. Google in a 5 billion lawsuit for tracking in private mode. These kind of lawsuits are not something new for Google. They are doing this. They are even paying a lot of fine also, but they have their own business case which force them to, because this is their bread and butter. I mean, if they will not look into people's privacy, then how they will provide the good ads to the people. Another cyclone is approaching Mumbai now, and Australia set for first recession in 3 decades. So, like Zoom is flourishing or Zoom is enjoying the time. Australia is not enjoying it, because Australia, the business case, the economy is built on immigrants. And because of this pandemic, because all air industry is closed, so immigrants also cannot come. So Australia is starting having a recession. So same thing, giving a good news to Zoom is giving a bad news to Australia. So in China, a frontline doctor dies. They were showing that everything is in control, and they are still showing it. But this news says something else. This news is not in Chinese news agencies. but this is how it is. So a lot of things will change. You will have to swim alone because of the pandemic. Things are not. This is what I was talking about. It looked like to be laid off over Zoom. Typically, I will say that it do not make any difference. Your heart breaks in almost the same way. You are physically laid off or you are laid off on Zoom. It does not make a big difference. The companies should try to take care of the employees, and somehow, I mean, if they should try not to fire anyone, even it is on Zoom or it is on whatever. So this is a normal now. You can meet your relatives, but there should be a glass window in between. This is the way. This is how people should be starting to live until maybe 1 or 2 more years when things are really fine for this corona. So our friend China, they are showing that this is Wuhan, the night market flourishing now. So they are showing that they are back on normal, but things are not normal in the US. People are dying, being arrested, and a lot of unrest. So Chinese premier is saying that US visa restrictions on Chinese students is being denounced. Mass protests in US may speed up COVID-19 transmission, experts warn. So this is also one thing that if you will do a lot of protests, then this can also increase the chances of getting corona. Now here you see one COVID-19 patient discharged. They do not show that one doctor died. They show the positive news. So one explosion in Kabul, France entered second phase in easing of coronavirus restrictions. So countries are easing things, schools are reopening in Singapore. So, but these easing, they will have their own cost. They should think about it because they should open. I mean, it's not like I'm saying that they should not open, but they should take fully care of all the SOPs that if you open, you will follow these things in the best way on the what we call it on war footings or in the most strict way. It should be the SOP should be followed very very strictly. Then only you can open the things. So AlJazeera also has the same news and things in US. Mumbai is okay. Last time this was from this direction. It was hitting Kolkata and Bangladesh. Now this is coming from the Arabian Sea and it's hitting Mumbai. If it diverts, it can go to Karachi, Pakistan as well. So Indonesia to skip Hajj pilgrimage over coronavirus fears. Yes, everyone has to take some kind of precautionary measures. This is very much required. So apart from it, I think there is no further big news. In business, we see that even Reuters also has US on the top, but in business we are not we don't see any very good news. I mean, things on the business side are also still slow. Death in US going almost on the same pace, more than 1,000 per day, and the new cases are also coming almost in the same way. So this again we see that there is a rising trend in a lot of places. All the center, some areas have a flat trend, but otherwise the rising is on the rising. So, but the person who should be taking care of these all things, he's busy in his re-election only. So this will have problems for the people and problem for everyone. So we don't see any big news. Brent oil raises to $40 amid hope for output cuts. So oil is gaining some market, getting some money. So this will ease. This will bring ease for some countries like Canada, who were struggling because of the lower price of oil. So let's move on. I mean, let's finish today's headline. The story is almost the same. I mean, as yesterday, that US is going to be in a big trouble, but the people running US, I personally feel that they really don't care. So let's meet tomorrow and see what's new for us. Bye.